What's going on, guys? Before we start anything, I just want to say that this whole channel is completely trial and error based, and I am not a professional by any means, so use any information you get from this channel at your own discretion. With that being said, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. So on this channel, we got a couple of different bikes, mostly Zumas, mostly Minarelli motors, but we do have, you know, Honda Duos. We do have some Chinese Minarelli motors, clones and stuff like that, and we have some Aprilas and more to come in the future. But before we hop into the liquid cooled bike, I'm just going to show you around the shop and introduce a couple of these bikes and some upcoming projects that we have going on. Alright guys, so we're just gonna do a quick breakdown on all these bikes. Actually, we're not even gonna go into too much detail on any of these bikes, but maybe in the future we'll have its, you know, individual videos for every bike. But this is a 02 Zuma. I actually built this for my girlfriend. This is a 13 Zuma. This is actually the only 4-stroke bike that we even have in our whole fleet. It's pretty much stock. This right here is the liquid cool Zuma. This is what we're going to be doing the video on today. This right here, Barney, this is going to be the scooter that you're going to be seeing in the majority of the videos. This is the bike that we wheelie. This is the bike that, you know, we go around town hooning on and doing some fun stuff with. This bike, on the other hand, this pile of parts, I've been collecting parts for a while now. I think I'm at the point where it's ready to start being built. This right here is going to be the ultra low budget build. We're gonna find the cheapest parts that we can find on the internet, and we're gonna try to make this thing as fast as possible. So this is actually a build I'm looking forward to, so I'm actually excited for this. What else do we got? As you can see, most of our stuff is Zuma. This right here is probably going to be the opposite of this one. This has a decent amount of stuff. This is still air-cooled bike. Still putting it together. Again, all these bikes started off pretty much like this, so we get them, we rebuild them, and we do what we can with them. So yeah. Oh, this is the only non Zuma or non-Yamaha I have in my garage. This is a Aprilia SR50. This is going to be the gem. This is the bike that we're going to take our time with and, you know, try to build it to something track inspired, or who knows where it's going to go, to be honest. But this is the bike I'm going to take my time with, you know, make it look pretty, you know. So actually we have one more Zuma, but it's just a frame. But we're gonna hop right into the liquid cooled bike, and actually I'll put it on the table so we can I gotta take some parts off of it and actually take the thermostat out. So I'll show you how I did the radiator setup, because I've been getting a lot of questions about that. I'll show you I'll pretty much show you how I put it together. It's nothing crazy, but it's definitely a cool bike, and I actually have a lot of fun on it. So let me put it on the table, and we'll get to it. Alright guys, this right here is the 02 Zuma. This one is liquid cooled using all factory parts off of a Aprilia SR50. My buddy Levi had some extra parts, asked me if I wanted to do something cool with them. I always wanted a liquid cooled Zuma, and we made it happen, no problem. Levi's the SR guru in our group, so big shouts out to him. You'll be meeting him later on in the videos. But all these parts, they're factory SR50 Aprilia parts. So SR50 water pump and the housing and the head. The rest is Yamaha. Even the piston. The piston's still Yamaha. The exhaust is Yamaha. The whole cases, everything else is Yamaha. So the first issue that you're going to run into is the water pump. If you're trying to use this setup, the factory SR50 water pump setup, it's not going to work factory direct, you know what I mean, with the little studs and the rubber grommets, and there's a wheel behind it. It's not going to work. There's going to be a big gap in there, so I had to do some custom stuff. I actually have another case over here, I'll show you why. And actually, let's just go into that first. Let's deal with that problem first. So this right here is a SR50 Aprilia case, and this side right here is a Yahama Zuma case. Well, the side, you know. So this is where the water pump is going to be sitting. All right, and if you look on this one, there's a raised lip. You see that? All that's raised. Let me get a screwdriver. So all this right here is raised. It's not flush. Even this right here is raised. So that's going to prevent you from using the stock SR50 exhaust. That's going to prevent you from putting that water setup, the water pump setup directly on, because it's going to push the whole thing up maybe about, I don't know, ½ inch or ¼ inch, about a ½ inch. They'll push it up. So you see on this one, there's no lip here, and this is not sticking out as much. I'll put it side by side. You can kind of see that. So that's going to be your first issue. And to remedy that, I had to make my own spacers. Actually, I'll pull this off. Actually, let me pull it off right now, and I'll show you what I did. Alright guys, so this is right here is inside of your stator cover where the water pump is. This is the water pump in a little plate that spins and rotates. On the other side of it and the inside of this cover is a propeller that actually pushes the water through. Alright, so when you put this plate on, there's going to be a gap again because this lip. So it needs to come out about a ½ inch. So I had to make these spacers. I actually made them out of some type of like nylon piping, and I had to, you know, sand them down and get them nice, and actually stick washers and JB weld them on the inside of that, so it's all firm and solid. But it works. Everything's balanced. There's no vibration. I have no issues yet. I put about say about almost 100 miles on this setup so far, and actually I just took one apart so you can see how I made it, and this fits inside, snug inside of there. So when the flywheel spins, it actually spins the propeller. So that's pretty much what I had to do. And of course, re-Loctite everything so nothing comes out. You don't want one of these coming out because this is what keeps your bike cool. So from here we'll go on to the radiator setup. I'll pull the front cover off, show you how I did that and how I set up the fan and this other radiator. All right, so front off so you guys can actually see. Bear with me, I'm working with one hand right here, but I just think it's so cool that you can see the radiator through there. You know, I'm sure there's other ways to do it. Originally I was going to drill holes and do stuff like that, but I was like, no need to mess up a nice OEM plastic set, because this is the only OEM plastic set I have on the O2 Zuma. So I'll take this off right there. One second guys, there we go. Last bolt. There we go. All right. So in here, can unplug this real quick. There we go. All right. So here is the first radiator. This is the one on top. This is where I fill up from. There is an extra hole over here. I just, you know, use some extra pipe and a copper plug, and I just plugged it off. No issues there. These radiators, they're small, but they are thick. They are way thicker than the one I was going to use. These are what normally people use. They put them, you know, They put 2 of them in over here somewhere. And I know back in the day they used to actually sell a bracket, you know, to put 2 of these, you know, side by side like that. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to cut too much of it. I want it to be more like sleeper look and sleek and more OEM looking. So I just drilled out the little cubby here. This one fits in there perfectly. Took the headlight out. It gets perfect amount of airflow. I mean, I could drill some holes right here to let some more air escape, but so far I haven't had any problems. I think the temp goes roughly to 160. That's the highest I've seen so far. I wired in a switch right here. This is my fan. And I stuck all the hoses. You can kind of see that in there. I don't know if you can see it, but the hoses are going down through this and then under the belly tray and then up, one into the head, one into the other radiator. And I'll take you back on this side. And this is the other radiator that I'm using. This is this comes in a pair. I believe these radiators are from SX50. Just don't go too crazy because you guys are going to raise the prices of these things if you guys go too crazy. But these are cheap, really cheap. I think I only paid like 50 bucks for the pair, and they're thicker than most. So I haven't had any issues. I stuck a 4-inch fan. I'll put both of these, the fan and the I'll put the fan, the temp gauge I'm using, and the radiators in the description so you guys can go out and go crazy. That's pretty much it, man. It's you know, the rest is just piping. So the hose that I used is this right here. I don't really recommend it because it is a pain to slip on some of these piping, and I bought the 22 mil coupler, and I should have bought the 18, so it was very difficult to get this the hoses slipped onto it, but I did it. But it's a pain. If you get the 18 one, the 18 mil, you won't have any trouble at all. But that's pretty much it. The hose this hose right here is 16 mil, so if you were able to, I'd probably get like 18 mil hoses should be fine for all this stuff. Get some good quality hose clamps, and that's pretty much it. This is a complete stock setup of a SR50 on a Zuma. It runs beautifully. It's super quiet. My neighbors love me because this is they love this bike. This is the quietest bike I own right now. And I mean, it's not the fastest, but you know, it's only a 50cc bike, and I get it up to roughly 38, 40 sometimes, you know. But I do have a red spring in here. I just love the red springs. I love how torquey they are. I love hearing the RPMs rev up and the way it takes off and stuff like that with the red springs. I do have factory rollers in it right now, so maybe I'll go a little heavier on the rollers and see if I can you know, get some little bit more top end. So actually we'll probably do that now before I take it out, and then we'll go for a rip on this thing. But the best part of the water cooled, in my opinion, is you don't have the fan on it. I feel like it revs up a lot faster because there's not so much rotating mass on there. And if you take the flywheel off and you do like I mean, that's kind of overkill. You don't need to do any of that because then you won't have a charging system. But the rotating mass is a lot lighter, and you can definitely feel it in the response. It literally climbs from, you know, 10 to 30 in seconds. It's really torquey. I love it. So I'm gonna put this back together. I'll pull off the CVT cover. I'll show you what I got in there. Nothing crazy, and probably just throw some rollers in it and see. Actually, we can just do a baseline. Let's just drive it first, and then if I need to throw some rollers in it, I will. So next time you see this bike, we'll be on the street and we'll go for a little test drive. All right, guys, we're outside. It's warmed up. It's at see that 154. No fan running at the minute. Very quiet. Like I said before, the neighbors love this bike. Oh, this is my favorite headlight. You can see it. It's kind of yellow, and then high beam is blue. But it's a cool light. not the fastest bike by any means, but feels good for what it is though. I'll just take it down this straight. It's not terrible. I feel like it has more in it. Gotta do some CVT tuning, but so far so good. I like it. A little torquey. Yeah, man, this thing's torquey. I like this thing. I can't really complain. I mean, 35 on a stock Zuma, that's pretty much what stock Zumas are doing anyway. The only thing that's different is liquid cooled. So from here on out, now our goal is just to make this thing a little faster, you know, make it faster and faster. The good thing about watching this video, you pretty much can liquid cool anything now. So now you can make a whole 70cc liquid cool set using the same parts. The only thing you got to change is the head. Everything else applies. So maybe in the future we'll throw like a Melosi, I don't know, iron 70cc kit on it and see what's going on with that. But as for right now, I'd like to make this 50cc a little bit faster, see how fast I can go on this. Oh, big shout out to my whole scooter crew out there, you know, Joey, Tim, Levi, Tom, you know, my whole little scooter gang. You'll be seeing all their builds come up soon, and we'll get some future videos with them too and see what what's going on with them. So if you like these type of videos, you know, leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you got any questions, let me know. I would answer anything. So peace, guys.